The link, so.
Yeah, that's the link. Okay.
We'll copy it.
Good
Thank
morning, everyone. And this is what? This is April 7th. So we're now well into our second year of this group. And again, thank you all for, oh, there's Jonathan. Thank you all for joining us today. Today we're going to hear from Joel Solomon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Joel.
You are.
And he's going to be talking about his prosperity coaching services. He's the author of several books, has a lot of experience in finance, and we're looking forward to hearing that presentation. So before we do that, we'll do a little bit of a go around the room as we usually do. My name is Alex, and I work with Wendy and Jyoti, who I think is on this call or was, at QCP's development department. Wendy, would you mind giving a brief introduction?
Sure. I'm Wendy Gennaro, the Director of Development for Queens Centers for Progress. QCP, for those who don't know, is an agency that provides services to people with developmental disabilities and intellectual disabilities in Queens. And we provide services to over 1,200 people, although the number is a little vague right now, some online, some in person, but on a daily basis, we service over 1,200 individuals and their families.
Great. Neil Levin.
Deep breath. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Neil Levin, Webline Media Group. We've been designing and developing website projects and online marketing services for 26 years now. We started in 1995. We is my partner, myself, Steve Levin, my oldest son, and I've worked on over 1,000 projects myself. And if you need some help, let us know.
Thank you. Steve Karp.
Morning, everybody. Stephen Karp, Variable Promotions. We're about a 70-year-old company that do two things. We are printers, commercial printers, printing everything and anything you could think of, ink on paper, whether it's business cards and stationery, postcards, invitations, posters, banners, catalogs, annual reports, etc. Promotional products out of our business, anything that bears your name for image recognition or image consistency, tote bags, umbrellas, t-shirts, sweatshirts, pens, coffee mugs, swag. Stephen Karp, Variable Promotions.
Swag Promotion. Cheryl Miller, would you mind giving a brief introduction?
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Cheryl Miller with Legal Shield Business Solutions. And Legal Shield is a nationwide 50-year-old company that I've been with for 22 years, this past March 31st. I work with small businesses, their employees, entrepreneurs, families, individuals, and helping them to gain access to, gain affordable access, I should say, to legal services and identity theft solutions.
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome. Ben Horowitz.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Benjamin Horowitz. I'm the CEO of BSB Consultants. We specialize in group health insurance for organizations.
Thank you. And welcome back, Sonia.
That's going to be my name on this. Welcome back.
Sonia, welcome back, Solid.
Exactly. There we go. There we go. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all of you again.
Yeah.
What do I do? Oh my gosh. What I do is I work with nonprofits and I help them to feel comfortable with asking for donations and lots of money so that they can continue doing the great work that they do.
Mara, welcome back.
Good morning. So my name is Mara and I love travel. Can you see my t-shirt? Yeah, I love travel. Can you see our logo, Cruise Planners and the American Express logo? I can't see it because I'm standing. So anyway, so it's a small franchise, but part of a very big enterprise called Cruise Planners. We represent American Express travel. And besides the fact that I love travel, I love helping people to plan a great vacation, great travel. And I can do it for individuals and I can do it for all kinds of groups. Can I ask for best clients or not yet? Later.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So you know what I was going to ask you guys? Anybody knows a gardening, a garden club or gardening club? How do you call it? Gardening club. And also, if you're, active in your church, in your synagogue, whatever, if you are close with the pastor, you know what I'm talking about. please let me know. Let me know. If you can get me an appointment with the head of the church, your local church, I would be forever grateful.
Yeah, and to everybody out there, feel free to say the kind of thing that Mara just said, is what you're looking for from the group, how the group might help you. Feel free. Mr. Forgash, Jonathan Forgash.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. My name is Jonathan Forgash. I'm a co-founder and executive director of Queens Together. We're a independent restaurant association and food relief organization here in Queens. And a proud, wait, Wendy, I promise to show you, a proud recipient of the You're Awesome Award, which is actually, in all seriousness, this is the first recognition we've gotten for the work that we've done in Queens over the past year during COVID. So, really thank you for this honor. We appreciate it.
We're so happy, and you are so deserving. So
thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for displaying it so prominently. We appreciate that too. It's hard to see though. Sorry.
Nancy, go ahead.
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Nancy Vargas here, CEO of DH2 Chauffeur Transportation. What we do is provide safe and private ground transportation services. We are so happy to see so many of our clients traveling. So you could be Mr. Joel Solomon, who traveled recently. He's had the DH2 experience. So we're really excited about that. But if you are going to an event, please think of us as well. We have sedans, SUVs, Sprinter vans, and shuttle buses in our fleet. And one last thing, we also come to you to clean and detail your vehicles. So good weather is out there. The sun is bright. Let your car have a sparkle. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Later on in this presentation, I'll ask you and Mara to talk a little bit about, what kind of restrictions are still in effect, what kind of travel is available now, and maybe that'll be a presentation in and of itself. Jaseni.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be back. Sorry, I was not here last week. I got my vaccine, and I went to sleep fine, thinking that I was gonna be attending QCP. In that morning, I was in pain with fever, so I couldn't get up my bed. But I'm back, and everything is fine. So what I do is I am an event planner. I plan all kinds of events, from weddings. If you need the best officiant ever, you contact me because I got you, and she's here. Also, we plan all kind of events for corporate, including virtual. As you can see, we were the one behind the scenes at last QCP event, so that's what we do.
Thank you. Mr. Farrell, Tom Farrell.
Thank you, Alex. Good morning, folks. Tom Farrell. I'm a business law attorney. I have a practice that covers Queens, Brooklyn, Nassau, and parts of Suffolk. What I try to do is position small and medium-sized business owners so that they will not be sued or investigated by a government agency. I can give you a suite of programs that will prevent your former disgruntled employers from suing you, and also keep you in compliance with various state and city programs, so that if a state agency comes knocking on your door, you have the records that you need to get them to go away.
The best defense, huh?
Right, exactly.
Is a good offense. Frank from Business EDC.
Good morning, everyone. Frank Braun, EDC Business Solutions. We've been in Queens since 1957. We do copiers, printers, scanners, mailing equipment, and document management programs. Help keep all your documents organized and printing in black and white and color.
Okay, thank you. And last, Tress Walker.
Good morning. I'm Tress, one of the moms at Mom's Kitchens NYC. We are a catering house, bakery, and pop-up shop. We specialize in fresh baked breads, brownies, and cookies. We've got our famous purple box that we fill with delicious goodies. So please let us know if you're interested in doing that for your clients, corporate, and or for self. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so today we have our guest speaker, Joel Solomon, prosperity coach. Joel Solomon, prosperity coach. And he's going to be talking a little bit about his, we'll let him speak. So Joel, go ahead, take it away. I'll spotlight you and then you're free to share the screen.
Can you guys see my screen slide?
Looks good.
Great. Thanks, Alex. And thanks everybody for having me here today. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to be spending most of the time today talking about the highlights from my upcoming book, Infinite Love and Money, which I co-authored with my good friend, couples coach, master couples coach, a university professor, and infinite possibilities trainer and trailblazer, Molly Singh. So first, I'm going to start out with a little bit about my background, and then I'm going to go into what is your money personality type. We created in this Infinite Love and Money book coming out next month, your money personality types. And so we'll go through some of those and give you the opportunity to actually figure out which one you are. So I have, as Alex mentioned, I'm a prosperity coach. My goal is to help at least 100,000 people become financially free. And I'd love for all of you to be one of those 100,000. I have written a couple of books, Mindful Money Management in 2018, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use in 2019. And as I mentioned, Infinite Love and Money coming out next month. As you see, I have a long history in the financial services industries. Many of you know I started my career as an actuary. And some of you may know the difference between an actuary and an accountant. An actuary looks at his feet when he talks to you. An accountant looks at your feet when they talk to you. You know, they say an accountant is an actuary with charisma. But I'm not the typical actuary. I am a fellow of the Society of Actuaries. I did go through all the exams and I can sign insurance company financial statements to this day. If you know any insurance companies who need their statement signed. But I had a dream when I was working at New York Life to manage money. And a lot of people told me, Joel, you don't have an MBA in finance. You're not in the investment banking industry. That's where people go from to manage money. So forget it. I talked to a lot of people who told me that. And I talked to actuaries, accountants. I talked to family members who said, Joel, you're doing the best job in the world. In fact, the actuary was on the cover of Forbes magazine back in 1993 as the #1 job in the country. So why do you want to switch? You're making $110,000 at 27 years old. By the way, that's equivalent to $400,000 today. So why would you quit? Why would you want to move to something else? Well, I had a dream. And now I teach my clients hashtag doubt the doubt. Doubt the doubt. Why do you have faith in your doubt? Or why do you start doubting yourself when you have a dream? So have faith in your dreams and desires. So I finally found an actuary who was working on Wall Street who told me what to do, told me the path to take. So I started taking that path. I worked as a credit analyst at Moody's. I worked as a credit analyst at Swiss Re, and then got a opportunity to work at a small hedge fund. And that was my entry into the money management world. And a few years later, my Citigroup sales guy called me up and he said, Joel, do you want to be a portfolio manager? So 2008, I achieved my dream of managing money, which almost my true dream. My true dream was actually having my own company. And I did that for about 4 years at Citi. I actually made money in 2008 when some of you may remember the stock market was down 40%. The stocks I was managing, financial stocks, that's the only stocks I was managing, were down 57%. We managed to make some money that year and made more money in 2009 and 10. In fact, I might still be there today, except that a law was passed that the banks can't own hedge funds And so that actually, my whole division was laid off, which gave me the kick in the butt to start my own firm. So I started my own hedge fund, Solomore, which is actually still the name of my company today, named after my daughters, Lauren and Morgan. And so I started my own hedge fund, and in the Q&A, you guys can ask why I shut down my hedge fund, but I shut down my hedge fund to become a prosperity coach. I had an epiphany, and I realized my true dream is really to help others, to be of service to others so that they can become financially free, just like I became in 2010, and teach people how to live the life of their dreams. So let me tell you a little bit about my startup story as a hedge fund manager. In 2012, after I got laid off from Citigroup, I had a dream to start my own hedge fund, and I went about the process. I called up some insurance companies that knew my process of investing in them, and two of them orally agreed to give me money. So I started the process of working with service providers. I hired a lawyer, a hedge fund lawyer in Manhattan, not inexpensive. I hired an accountant, an auditor, a fund administrator. These were all requirements to start a hedge fund. And then I moved into prime real estate space on 54th and Madison Avenue. And I felt like I'd arrived. And I moved into the space. There was enough room for 8 people. I overlooked Madison Avenue. And it was December 17th, 2012. Moved into the office space and called up the 2 companies that had orally agreed to give me money. And both of them backed out. I had no pipeline. I had no cash flow. Well, I had negative cash flow or cash outflow. And I had no line of sight to actually achieving my dream. So what did I do? I could have given up. What I did do is I hired the analyst I was planning to hire on January 1st, 2013. We went to conferences as if we were already invested in these stocks and asking the companies questions. We followed up after those conferences, meeting with the CEOs and CFOs and asking them, questions about their business. And I did something even more crazy. I put together a spreadsheet which calculated our performance of our stocks every day. And then I'd say to my analyst, Sean, good day today, made $1 million. Or Sean, bad day today, we lost a lot of money. We got to rejigger the portfolio. And we did this day after day, acting as if I didn't just, do those kinds of things. I also banged the phones, called up companies, asking them if they wanted to invest in Solomore Capital. And we had a good meeting on January 25th. And a couple of months later, this company we had a written agreement from this company that they were going to give us money to manage, and I was going to achieve my dream. And I will tell you, to this day, I truly believe by acting as if we had the money, we got the money. Now, another thing I did, which is rule number 4 of my last book, The 9 Money Rules, is to visualize. Now, I'd been doing this for many, many years. I didn't know it was called visualization, but I had visualized myself managing money, like being in an office, picking the stocks, having my own company. And I want to give you the 6 steps to visualization before we get into the money personality types. So it's a very simple 6-step process. I highly recommend doing it every day. Some people call it daydreaming on purpose, but it works. So step 1 is to pick a time that you're going to do it. I do it every day, actually right on this couch I'm sitting on. I wouldn't recommend doing it right in your bed after you get up or right before you go to sleep. You may actually fall asleep. So pick a place, then pick a time. I usually do it right after I come back from my jog in the morning. Step 3 is to pick the amount of time. I wouldn't do it for more than 10 minutes, probably 3 to 5 minutes is optimal. And step 4 is to write down 3 dreams or desires before you actually do the visualization. So you're daydreaming on purpose, pick the dream that you want to think about, or pick the desire you want to have. So if you have this dream to be prosperity coaching on the island of Maldives to 200 people, you could visualize yourself being there. And step 5 is to see yourself in the visualization. I have a hard time with this part, but if you could look as if you're looking down on yourself, picturing yourself in the visualization, that's really powerful. And step 6, I think, is the most powerful step. That is, Wayne Dyer in his book, Wishes Fulfilled, said, make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So if you could feel the feeling of having already achieved your visualization, already achieved your dream, then it'll come really quick. So that's all the 6 steps to visualization. Highly recommend doing that every day, 3 to 5 minutes. So let's talk about the 7 money personality types. Why do I have a sugar pie here? Not to make you hungry, but it's the acronym for my 7 money personality types. So let's go through them. S stands for the splurger type. So the splurger type are easily swayed by emotions. Their mindset is, I deserve to spend my hard-earned cash on whatever I want. The attitude is really one of desperation. That's, I have to spend the money. And their action steps are, the cost is inconsequential. Now, in the book, we also talk about the benefits of each of the money personality types and our proposal on how to change. And we say there is a benefit for each of these, because the splurger type, the benefit is they believe that money comes easily and frequently. But it is emotional. Splurger is generally quite emotional. The unconscious type, you in sugar pie, the mindset is of poverty. They are afraid of what they might find, so they don't look at their accounts. Their attitude is they don't want to deal with the consequences of what they find, so they don't look. Their action steps, well, that's their action step. Head in the sand. They don't want to know what their accounts look like. Now, just given the time here today, I'm gonna just show you pictures of the rest. There's the greedy personality type, the accumulator, the protectionist, who's always scared or worried about the markets going down, the investor type, and of course, the egotist. Now, if you guys want to figure out which money personality type you are, get out your phone right now. Yeah, I know some people when they're talking say, don't put your phone away. So get out your phone and text to the number 66866 ILM for infinite love and money. And if you put in your email address, I'll send you the survey. It's a very simple, it'll take you 3 minutes and you'll determine what your money personality type is. And I say, if you don't know your money personality type, this is impacting you in your business significantly. If you're not self-aware of how you act with money, then it could significantly impact how profitable your business is and how quickly you can get to financial freedom. So I'm going to conclude there, open it up to questions, but there's a lot of free stuff on my website. There's free audio files. There's money affirmations on my website, salamore.com. That's SALEURMOR.com. I also give everybody 30 minutes free prosperity coaching if you guys are interested. And finally, for this group, before Infinite Love and Money comes out, if you guys want to get a sneak peek at the book, I'll send it to you. Just email me at joel@Salamore, again, SALEURMOR.com. And I'll send you the ebook. I just ask that you review it when it comes out on the day of the release. And you'll get a free copy of the ebook before it comes out. So I will stop there, open it up to questions, comments. Thanks for your time.
I already texted you, just so you know. I'm really eager to take the survey, but I can already tell, and I'm glad you didn't go through all of them because I'm already an unconscious splurger. so
I will
I'm
tell
sure
you, thanks, Wendy. I will tell you that we talk about this in the book. You're not just one money personality type.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
It depends on the circumstance. It depends on where you are in your life cycle. I know when I was single, before I got married, I'm single again, but before I got married, I was a different money personality type. When I was married, another one. And again, with kids now, a different one. In different situations, I might act differently. When I'm with my daughter in Aruba, I act than I do when I'm on a date. So you have different money personality types in different situations.
No, that's true. That's true. But it's you know, it is so important because it does affect, you know, everything in your life. But, you know, as you were talking, I was thinking about, you know, I ran a business that was very successful, big company, and we went out of business in 2006. And it was always a cash cow. And then something happened that changed it because you never expect that thing to happen. But you know, and every time we would spend money on something, we'd say, oh, it's only this much. It's only, you know, so finally I said, we have to stop with the it's onlys because that is what gets you. And when you're, you know, when things are flush, the it's onlys don't matter. But yeah, when things start getting tight, those are the things that you got to like really pull the reins in on.
Yeah, Wendy, one of the things. Sorry, Alex.
She's going to ask a question. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Alex. So, Joe, what I wanted to ask, two things, for example, that I do every day. To me, it's very important to meditate and to envision what I want to attract. So, for example, I do it in the mornings every day, and I do it in bed. You said not to do it in bed at nighttime, but to me, that helps me actually like empty my mind and then go to sleep. If I don't do it like that, then it takes time for me to go to sleep. So because I remember sometimes when you said write down 3 things that you want to accomplish, right? And then you do your meditation. Sometimes it feels different. Like for example, for me, it feels like I'll do my meditation every morning, but then there's a point in which it looks like I'm doing it so the same every day that I don't actually see, right? It's like when you meditate, you have to see yourself. And then I encounter doing the same thing every day, and then it's like I don't see what I'm trying to focus myself on. Is there anything I can do to just go back on track and you know and pay attention to exactly what has meaning?
A comment?
Thanks, Jaseni. I would first of all distinguish between meditation and visualization.
Yeah.
And for me, meditation is you want to clear your mind and focusing on just your breath or a guided listening to someone else. And it really is to raise your vibration for the day. And it's for me, meditation is clearing the mind, whereas visualization is focusing on a dream or desire. And that's why I recommend not doing it in bed, because I recommend you don't want to fall back to sleep or fall asleep. You want to focus on the dream. You want to be consciously daydreaming. And that's why I'd say, pick 3 things, pick a desire. For me, again, it's very hard to picture myself in the dream, but that's okay. I've manifested many awesome, amazing things over the last few years, independent of putting myself in the visualization. So what I tell people is everything with grace and ease. Don't white knuckle it. I got to do it this way. I find that, most of my life I did that and things didn't come easily. I felt like, efforting takes a lot more time than with grace and ease. So what feels right for you? If it's in bed, great. If, and I wouldn't put pressure on yourself. A lot of times I visualize and my mind goes elsewhere, and it's 3 minutes in, I'm like, I'm done. I'm thinking about all the things I have to do this day. Just be done and say, I'll get to it tomorrow. It shouldn't be like a pressure thing. It should be fun, enjoyable. You could even just woohoo for 3 minutes, not on anything specific. Just make it fun. And that's the point, right? The goal of life is to have fun. I think rule number 3 is, can happiness make you money? Yes, it's my answer. So for me, joy. It's all about joy and happiness.
Can I just
Go ahead, Mara.
think out loud a little bit? I mean, you said part of it already, that we're not clean cut one type, as with all kinds of types, right? Even if you take those ancient 4 personality types, we're never one. It's just, I mean, I would think I'm realistic with my money. And by the way, I did I miss it? Was there just a realist type in those 7 types? I don't know if I saw it, but there were times when I wanted to splurge, and I could do it, I could afford it, and I was like, you know what, it's okay. I worked so hard for this. Not all the time, because I had family to take care of. Anyway, you know what I wanted to say though? I think I'm gonna have to reread the Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book. And I forgot most of it, but there was a phrase that stuck with me. I think it's from there, if I'm not mistaken, when he says, being broke is temporary. Being poor is a state of mind. I mean, I think it's genius. You just couldn't say it better, right? Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that statement?
I agree, absolutely. And I was going to also, I Think Grow Rich is my all-time favorite book. I've read it 22 times, literally 22 times.
I probably have
twice a year since 2009. And yeah, so that the mindset is key. I was going to say with what was Jaseni was saying earlier, affirmations, are really important. I have free affirmations on my website. And so what you're saying to yourself, and Wendy mentioned it earlier as well, like what you say to yourself is really important. I am a money magnet is a great affirmation. Money comes easily and frequently is another. Lucrative opportunities always come my way. It's just the mindset, right? It's just shifting your mindset in your personal life and in your professional life. And when I find that I say those affirmations and I, believe them, that's rule number 1, by the way, in the 9 money rules, is when you believe. So when you say these affirmations, what's your belief? And if you're calling BS, that's the other BS, not belief systems, the other BS. If you're calling BS on yourself when you say something like, I am a money magnet, and you don't believe it, you have massive doubt, you're a 1 on a scale of 10, where 10 is absolute faith. If you're 1 and you say, don't say it, it's not helpful. You're just contradicting yourself in your head. But if I am a money magnet, and you're like, yes, I am. I'm a 10. I know that is truth. Then say it all day long. Money comes easily and frequently. That's an absolute truth for me. Money comes easily and frequently. So I have all these affirmations. You can download them free from my website. I think it's under the programs and manifesting subdirectory on my menu on the home screen. The other thing I was going to say, Mara, is Personality Isn't Permanent is a great book by Dr. Benjamin Horowitz, I believe. It's absolutely true, right? What we say in our book is each money personality type, you're not just one forever. Like I'm primarily an investor.
Money personality. Oh, okay.
So we created 7 money personality types, but I believe, the Myers-Briggs test, people say I'm this, I don't even know what the 4 are, but I'm these 4. I say, no, you aren't. I know I'm an introvert, but if you guys probably would say to me, Joel, you're not an introvert. Well, I depend on the situation. I'm an introvert or an extrovert. Depends on the situation. So it's the same thing with the money personality types, right? And they're fluid, and you don't have one. You have one, primary, secondary, tertiary, and they're fluid. They change over time. They change in different situations. So, but knowing what your primary one is, we say take the survey, fill out the survey, and then do it again in a few months and see if you've changed. Because when you're self-aware of what you are, you can change, right? If you recognize that you're a splurger and you want to change, to me, the primary way to change is to first be self-aware of what you are. You don't know what you are, it's hard to change.
Very true. First, you have to know who you are.
I just want to jump in. I've known Joel now, 3 years, Joel? We've known each other. And I highly recommend everybody call him and take him up on his consultation. As you can see, he's very easygoing, he's non-judgmental, and he's very encouraging. And he'll help you take that next step, whatever that is for you. So I highly recommend that you take that time and pencil it in to be with Joel. No, pen it in. Don't pencil it in. Pen it in.
Thanks, Sonia. Appreciate it.
Was it 6686?
Thank you.
6686? The text message?
We'll make that available. Joel, if you want to put that in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat so we could.
Make the recording of this available. Joel, what are the main reasons people come to you for your work?
Good question.
In your opinion.
Good question, Alex.
Yeah, great question.
Money.
It has been all over the lot. I started when I shut down my hedge fund in 2016. In 2017, I had people come to me to learn about different asset classes. Somebody wanted to learn about currency trading or stock trading or real estate. I have in my last book a 5-step proprietary stock screen. I have a 7-step real estate screen. But people have come to me to help them grow their business. People have come to me to help them start their business. This woman who was actually working with me at Citigroup, after she got laid off, she had this dream to teach yoga to kids. And so we worked on a business plan. So I helped a guy 2 years ago who was very unhappy in his job. He worked a corporate job. He wanted to do something else. And I got him unstuck out of that. He was in a very negative mindset, both, money mindset and complete mindset, and change that mindset and then get him a new job and get him unstuck. And actually he's now working his dream job. And somebody else came to me who also wanted to follow my path to money management. And he was an actuary, and he read my first book and he said, I don't even know you were doing this, but teach me what you did so it doesn't take 20 years. So I did, and he actually is now one step away from a money manager, and it's 2.5 years. So I cut like, he learned from me and he cut off like 17 years of how long it took for me to get there. So it's been a bit all over the lot. I have 3 different like modules I teach. One is mindset, shifting the mindset from limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs, from scarcity and lack to prosperity and abundance. I have specific techniques for that. And then I teach investing, all the different asset classes I just talked about. And then I also teach, the last year, people have also come to me about improving their credit score, getting out of debt, how to go from negative cash flow to positive cash flow. So, anything related to money, it's me. I can help you.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how has the pandemic affected what you do or the people, who come to you? I guess you partially answered that.
Yeah, there's been more people coming to me for like the reduction of debt. I also started I fortuitously, or maybe not, because I believe everything happens for a reason. In 2019, I started group classes. I was just doing one-on-one coaching in 2017 and 2018. In 2019, I started group classes. And so I've been helping more people with the groups. I have a manifesting class that I started in 2019. I think we're up to over $800,000 has been manifested by the members that have taken that class, which is just awesome. I had no idea how it's going to go. I wanted to teach them kind of some manifesting techniques that I learned. And so on average, it's been over $10,000 a person that have taken that class. So I've done more group classes. So that's been something over the last, 15, 18 months that I've been doing to help people. I created a class called Maximize Your Money, which is all about, how to budget, what apps to use, how to save money. And then I created another class on investing in the stock market.
Thank you. Any other questions for Joel?
Yes, Joel. Hi, I'm Cheryl.
Oh, there you
go.
Hi.
Do you do employee benefits? Do you work with employers?
The only thing I do is I teach. I don't sell any products. So all I'll do is go into a company and teach about mindset around money. I'll teach them about, the employees about investing, but I don't sell any products. I don't do any but I love to teach people. I love to teach employees at companies.
Cheryl, there is a group member who was on here earlier who does do that. I can put you in touch with that person if you need to.
Yes, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked Joel is because sometimes we'll do will workshops, we'll do identity theft workshops, and HR folks a lot of times are looking for added value kind of things for their benefits. And especially now since everything is so virtual,
Yep.
I was just thinking that might be a good idea.
Yeah, no, if you know any companies that I could talk to, I'd love to talk to employees about how to change their mindset around money. So number one of the big issues around for employees is, they have this negative mindset and they're worried about money all the time. So if, I can shift their money mindset, they become more productive and more productive employees. And then, they can also sell more.
Hi, this is Martin. On that note too, I was actually talking to somebody this morning that is working at trying to figure out how to get their employees all back to the office, and a lot of insurance companies. I'm involved in the insurance side, so I do benefits and things of that nature. But it would be interesting to receive something from you on how you could work with companies, and I can put that out to some companies as well, because it is a struggle for them. They've got 2 issues that as well for these companies they're trying to balance, which is they want to maintain the camaraderie of an environment where we're all together, but at the same time, they're also looking at the cost factor that they can eliminate a whole bunch of rent. So that it's torn between the financial gain and the other. But I know that a number of companies are looking to try and bring their people back, and it's the number of people saying, "Look, if I'm doing my job from here, why are you forcing me to travel? Why do I have to spend 4 hours a day traveling?"
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with both. I like the hybrid approach personally. I think, human touch is really important. Getting the hug or actually the physical contact is important. But I also see the benefit of not wasting 4 hours a day commuting. So
Right.
having some type of hybrid approach. Maureen, I can send you, I have a flyer that I have for an initial discussion with companies. I can send you my flyer, which, goes through all the different types of areas that I can discuss with companies.
Okay.
And the company can choose, and that's a good teaser for having an initial discussion with corporations.
Okay,
I'd
I'm going to
love
put my
to,
I'll put my email in here, but I think your email is attached to the invitation from Alex. Is that correct, Alex?
Well, I'm going to actually, Joel, why don't you just put the email in that people should use to reach you. And what I will do at the end of this group is send out a full contact list in any case with everybody's name, phone number, and email and company. So you'll have that. I'll keep doing that on a weekly basis. Were there any further questions for Joel? Joel, thank you so much. That was really helpful. Really, really inspiring. Thank you. Before we leave, Mara, I just wanted to touch base with you. I know Nancy had to leave, but just give us a summary of, what travel restrictions are still in place, what's opening up, etc. Just a brief description.
You know how messy it is, right? But most of the world is open with some kind of restrictions, and most of who suffered is the cruise lines. Now, as the American Society of Travel Advisors, CLIA, Cruise Line International Association, they're lobbying Biden's administration and CDC very strongly, trying CDC to back off from their restrictions, because they're not allowing American ports to open. So what cruise lines did, it's interesting what they did. They started home porting their ships in foreign ports. Like, say you can start cruising in June, July in Caribbean or from Bahamas, right? Like you can fly to Nassau or Bimini and then take a Royal Caribbean or a Crystal Cruise, something like that, from Jamaica, from St. Martin. So they're kind of trying to get around it, but cruises in Europe and Asia, they were actually sailing for a while now. Even the river cruise line, like the one I like, AMO Waterways, they've been sailing for local German tourists on Rhine since last, I don't want to say wrong dates, June or July, and they've been doing fabulously. No issues at all. I don't know. I mean, it's the way they've been treated by CDC. I really do, everybody thinks it's not fair, but again, there are places where it's really easy to go. I always say that, right? For example, Dominican Republic, Mexico, the easiest, because they don't really require the test to get there. However, United States started requiring a test before getting on board the plane coming back to United States starting January 26th. That was actually, I believe it was Trump administration decision that was done back then. So now, well, I mean, as the vaccinations go on, I guess the restrictions will ease up, but Europe is now messier than United States. I know there is a curfew in France again. I believe Italy closed again. So, it's a mess. Another Royal Caribbean ship is going to start sailing from Israel. So it's like everybody is kind of trying to do something. Land trips, you can take land trips, I mean, if you're okay with the restrictions. It looks like I know a little bit more about cruise lines, because I just get more information from them for some reason, not because I do more cruises, although that's true too. What was I gonna say? I lost the train of my thought. Yeah, it looks like most of them, if not all of them, because it's like a chain reaction. One does something and everybody else does the same, are gonna come up with requirement for vaccination, and it may not even be really the right measure, but it is what it is. For example, yesterday I got a message from Norwegian Cruise Line and I was really upset. They are saying that even minors, the ones that are eligible for vaccination, should be vaccinated. vaccine is not really tested on minors unless you, I don't know, Pfizer recently came up and said that for children between 12 and 15 years old, the vaccine is 100% effective. How do we know that? But what if your child is less than 12 years old? I mean, I don't know how they picture that. Or like a family of 4, which has a really tiny kid and the bigger one. And they really want to go on Norwegian cruise or any other cruise, because it's going to happen with other cruises too. Most of them, they do require. A couple of days ago, Windstar Cruises came up with the requirement. But again, if you want to travel, you can travel. Someone mentioned Aruba, right? Who mentioned? Joe probably mentioned Aruba. You can go to Aruba. It's like a 5-step process. And if you ask me, I don't even remember right off the top of my head what steps to take, but I have the document. I can help you with that. So you can travel with certain restrictions. You can travel, and honestly, as I always say, it's probably the best to plan now. Don't travel in 2021 if you are really that worried. Let's plan for 2022 because the prices are going to get crazy. If you ask me, plane tickets, they are already crazy. I was reading some of the feedback from my colleagues, travel agents. They were like, you guys, is it just me or the prices for June are crazy? Because the demand is there. The demand is there, so everything is going to get more expensive. So it's better to do it now and travel whenever is possible. So November is probably the time when CDC is finally going to open all cruise lines. The land trips, again, depends on the country. We'll see when they are opening. Some countries are open. Yesterday, I read somewhere, I have to double check that though, like in Ireland, you can only go like 3 miles from your house. I have to double check that. So it depends on the country. I will help you with all of that, with all that information. I mean, honestly, you can find it yourselves, but in order to save you time, and we have a little more in terms of sources, so I will help you. Absolutely, you can travel. June, July, let's plan something. You want to go to Iceland? Iceland is open, but with vaccination. Crystal Cruises are going to start cruising around the Iceland coast. And Crystal is not a cheap cruise line, but if you think about it, if you're going to spend all that money by yourself going on a land trip, you may as well get a nice cruise with superb service and just, everything included. So.
Thank you.
So the world is opening. It's painful, but it's going to open. I mean, you can't stay locked down forever. But we have to open at some point. The deaths and hospitalizations are down. Yeah, there are some, a little bit of peaks in some places, but it's going down. The virus does what it does, and then it goes down.
Hey, Mara, question for you. What are you looking for in the garden club? You mentioned a garden club.
You know what? There is thank you. There is this event in Netherlands. It's about half an hour from Amsterdam. It is called Floriade. They may know, or avid gardeners may know about this. It happens like once in 10 years. And you can take a fabulous river cruise at that time because it's going to be, it's like a trade show.
Okay.
But people who know, they love it. So, And as to religious groups, why I was asking, because there is a company, one of our preferred suppliers, because Cruise Planners is very meticulous about that. They vet suppliers before they make them preferred suppliers, and then and they strongly recommend to use preferred suppliers first and then approved suppliers. It's not that easy. So there is a company which specializes in religious travel, like with the accent on history of the religion. They're fabulous tours. And so now I'm sorry, I probably should be more aggressive with the advertising. I'm not even sure if they still have that deal. They have this great deal starting from $1,000 without a plane ticket to Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and now they added Greece. Greece is opening. May 14, Greece is opening. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I just, because I'm looking for a group too to take care of our garden.
So if you find
anybody, let me know.
Find the club, or mutually. So religious groups. Sometimes travel agents would say, "I have a group of 200." I'm like, "Damn, where did they find these people?"
Yeah. No, it's a good market to tap into. So
But it's not an easy one. Try to get an appointment with the pastor or with the rabbi. Yeah.
Mara. Okay, so thank you all. Joel had to leave, sent me a note, but I appreciate his time. Thank you, Mara, for the brief answer.
Very welcome.
We will see everybody next week. We're going to have another guest speaker next week. Thank you all.
Have a great week, everybody.
Great week.
All right, take care. Thank you all.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.